Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing iRacing GTE League Season number 5 opening round here at Imola. My name is King-Kodiak. With a bit of a raspy voice, I wholeheartedly apologise, but nothing is going to keep me away from the intense action we expect to see here this evening. Joining me in the comment box is the beautiful, wonderful StevieSQ.
Hello everybody, it is a pleasure to be back talking with Mr. King-Kodiak for another, hopefully, action-filled race like we saw last week at, in the pre-season race at Spa.
Absolutely. So, what have we got lined up for you? It's going to be a 60-minute race, a 17 incident cap limit. These guys, of course, using open setups for this season, so should be pretty amazing to see how well these guys can wrestle their respective cars. We have got 41 drivers, I believe, with us this very eve. So a very, very packed grid, sporting all the GTE cars around this very, very tricky Imola circuit. So we will see how well that shakes down. As you can see, we're at the beginning of qualifying. It's a 15-minute quali session, and then it's going to be, I'd say, 1 hour of racing. And if last week's pre-season taster was anything to go by, it's going to be fabulous. It really was battling from lights to flag, and I really look forward to much more of the same.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen quite a few close finishes in this series so far, even after an intense 1 hour and 20 minutes flat out racing. And like we did last week at the test race, it was less than a second across the line. So hopefully we will have yet another one of those awesome races.
Valtteri Alander, first man to get a time on the board. Unfortunately, a little bit laggy, which is going to cause that stuttering that we've just seen. Not anything we can do about that, but we will do our best to work with what we have. So, in the Ferrari car number 11 for Glacier Racing, currently here with the top spot is a Valtteri Alander. Oh, no sooner do I say that, just as I was announcing his name, he gets demoted by Sebastian Riethmüller in Porsche number 74 for VEC Sim Racing Noir. VEC had a pretty good representation last season, and also in the race last week. Off the top of your head, Steve, how many VECs are we expecting?
You're going to say that about 6 at least, I think. I think we're missing 1 at the minute, which is Jeremy Hoppe. I don't think is here. We're also missing Philippe Gaillard. He is having internet issues. He's told me about that though. Well, his teammate did. So we have most of them here, but there are a couple that I don't think are here tonight.
The times are rolling in. Christoph Holstein has got his name to the top of the board with a 1:37.7. Oops, that's a Ford parked the wrong way at the chicane there. That's could have. I love the fact that Ferrari behind has got cheeky Nando's on the back. Wholeheartedly support that particular notion.
That is Jake Towns.
Number 69.
Wolfpack Nando's.
Claudia Klima has jumped to the top spot now. That's a time tumbling down 1:37.717. It is tight up top already, and wow, unfortunately we are having a lot of lag in the session this evening. Nothing we can do about that, so again, apologies for it. For the Geodesic Racing team, the Romanian up at the top of the... I mean, he was a strong contender last... I think, if I remember, Klima was right there in that lead battle, but faded towards the end at last week at Spa. But, you know, that was just literally a taster race. There was no championship element involved there, but it's all to play for from this point onwards. Absolutely.
This is where it really counts now. There's no drop weeks this season. Every result counts. You can't rely on a bad result or getting a bad result let off. What happens, and it will count. And yeah, Klima was very strong last week. But he fell away at the end in those closing stages. Still finished within 5 seconds of the lead, I think. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he stacks up today. He's currently doing pretty good.
Oh wow, I'm getting a lot of lag at the moment. So a lot of you're getting the same as well. So that is server side. That's nothing to do with the stream, and also which means we have no control over it. So Klima currently on the top spot. Holstein 2. Irunam, we saw him join us last week. And again, I struggled with this name, and I said I'd practice it, and I totally didn't forget. Dan Sasulski jumps up to 3rd position, our winner last time. Oh! Matched to within 1,000th of a second! On the overlay it says 71 thousandths. It's actually 1,000th to Dominic Gaydemeyer's benefit to get him currently 3rd. 137.787 against 137.788. Wow! That's close! And we still have 8.5 minutes to go.
It really is. And he is only... he's less than 0.5% of his teammate, reigning 2-time champion Chris Holstein, who's currently sitting in 2nd for Comrade Gaming.
Yes, the CSR CSR colours being trooped as Holstein stops on track and did he jump back to the pit? He did. So he was just getting out of the way of those coming past. Who else have we got? We have Ina Marinsky, who has stuck with the Porsche. He was forward last season, has gone with the Porsche this time for Kaido HCR Mayala, car number 84. Look at the gaps. I mean, it takes down to 13th before you start pushing a second off the lead, for goodness sake. So it's already shaping up to be very, very close. Mike Sheppers, car number 96, is out there somewhere. There he is in the orange and black Ford. Number 96, there he is for V3 Racing. Currently sits in 7th. Valtteri Alander was towards the top of the practice board, so we had that preceded this particular race. Oh, have I got the wrong view? I have. Apologies. Did it again. Have the wrong view set up again. There we go. Stream is fixed. Apologies there. So Valtteri Alander sits in 8th position. Magnus Wallström, a new one, certainly new to me. Haven't commentated on this individual previously. The Swede in car number 55 for Bushfink Racing Yellow. As he crosses over the line, does he improve from 9th position? Nope, remains where he is. That was an outlap he just did, so we shall see if he improves. And rounding out the top 10 is a Joris Talin in car number 64. There he is, also one of the Bushfink Racings. Bushfink Racing Red. I think we discussed Bushfink Racing last week on their contingents. They've got a decent contingent as well, I seem to recall.
Yeah, they've got about 8 cars, I think. There's Team Bushfink Racing Red, Team Bushfink Racing Yellow, Team Bushfink Racing Pink, and Team Bushfink Racing the loving of the ad time. I don't remember the other colour.
Irunamas. They're all here. They make up part of the field. Irunamas jumped up to the top spot now with a 137.678, and Ina Marinsky is now in 2nd, just 13 thousandths behind. First to 5th rather, separated by just over a 10th. So it's so close. Then a bit of a gap between Sasolski and Sheppers, but even so, we're still looking at 13th, which is Williamson, before we start pushing a second, and that Focus just jumped up to 14th within a second of the pole time. So, yep, there is going to be a lot going on here. Knut Martinsen as well. He's a fairly solid midfield runner in last week's race. Car number 20 in AOR Yellow. Oh, there's Stevie's old compadre just coming out of the pits for Scuderia AORia. Where is he? Darren Potter, there he is. Just come back out on track in car number 14. He's got a few positions to make up, but he's championing the colours for Stevie's team. Where is Holstein? He's down in 4th now. Led for most of the race last week and finds himself in 4th position at the moment. And goodness me, the lag is a little bit distracting, but we do our best with what we have. Michael Dreschler in 11th. And that's only 6.5 tenths behind the lead as Holstein came to a stop. Fraser Williamson's just jumped up to 4th in car 73 for Bushfink Racing Pink.
Sarah Dove's just had a spin on her lap.
Oh dear. Sarah Dove finds... Oh, that's who we just saw. I just saw someone on the infield there. Where's Sarah Dove? There she is in 33rd in the white and pink Ford for Team AOR Hime. Number 77. Rather mind your own business now. Something to point out is Phil Reed is showing up Team AOR Blue, but he's actually at the last minute. Again, correct me if I'm wrong on this one, Stevie, but he's actually going to be part of Team AOR Hime along with Sarah Dove. Is he still going to be using the Ferrari, or is he going to switch to the Ford?
He will be using the Ferrari. He was waiting on another Team AOR driver to sign up, and they didn't. So rather than have two one-car teams, they've paired together.
I see. There is Eno Marinsky. And he sits 13 thousandths off the top spot. Klima, 33 thousandths. Williamson, 58 thousandths. And then Holstein, 63 thousandths. 5 cars on the same 10th towards the top spot. What does Marinsky manage this time? That, I suspect, was an outlap. So let's follow him through as best we can. As let's go on to the roll bar. No, let's actually go with cockpit view. I find that works better with the GTEs. Right, through the first chicane. Oh, those bumps will throw you out. No, and the lag has already kicked in, unfortunately. But we do have another new pole time. Valtteri Alanda, 1:37.521. Find himself 1.5 tenths over Iru Nom, which compared to the rest of the gaps is positively huge.
Yeah, that is a statement of intent from Alanda there. I'm pretty sure he won here last season, but I can't remember exactly. But no, he was very quick towards the end of last season. Now he's starting fresh, as they all are, and he has got some fierce competition, and he has just laid the marker down.
Hasn't he just? So Alanda and Nom, is Nom coming out of the pits? He is, and Alanda is out there. So they're not staying. They're not sitting on their laurels. They are still looking to improve on their time. There goes one of the Comrade Gaming cars coming past, along with, I didn't see who that second one was, coming past Alanda. Holstein now down to 6th position. Oh, he came to a stop again at Tozer and has jumped back to the pits. Oh, he's gonna have to hurry if he wants to get his outlap done. You're just about time. As long as he doesn't kind of lose much time on his outlap, he should make it back to get that lap started just about.
Yeah, as long as you start the lap, you're okay. So he should be just around it.
Very close indeed. And Iru Nom has jumped up to 2nd. So an improvement then for car 78. And, oh, come on, lag. Help me out here. Come on. There we go. There he is, car 78 in the Bushwing car. Interesting, his team Bushwing doesn't have a colour after his name.
I think they have this is the original Team Bushwing, and then they have supplements for the other.
Nice. So the other ones are almost like the junior teams. Well, that would certainly be ringing true with Norma in 2nd position. Second only to Valtteri Alanda, who is one of the Glassy racing cars coming over the line now. Does Valtteri Alanda improve on his time? He does not. That was an outlap for him. That was a 2-minute lap, but does Iru Nom improve? That was also an outlap for car 78, so he will be looking to try and claw back that pole spot. A lot of cars still out on track. Everybody, all 41 cars now have a time on the board. So at least, we should start seeing pace. The only person we haven't had a really representative time from is actually Phil Reed down in 41st. Oh no, you're not going to manage a representative time like that either, sir. So Phil Reed actually started from the back, it looks like. Oh dear. That's I know Phil Reed likes a challenge, but yeah, that really is setting yourself up for a big challenge here at Imola. And Eno Marinsky jumps up to 2nd, just 65 thousandths off the top spot. 1:37.586, so it's still very close towards the top.
Absolutely, it's absolutely mega up there. There is another situation we've got Dan and Gaidermare still separated by 1,000. So we've got Holstein and Williamson separated by 5,000.
Wow.
It's so close. The top three are separated by just over a tenth, just under a tenth and a half.
I'm just going to make a slight adjustment my side here, just in case it's actually me. Were you saying you're having a lot of lag stream side, server side? Are you, Stevie?
Yes, I am.
So it's nothing I'm doing then.
I'm getting a little bit. I'm getting quite a little bit server side, and I'm getting some through Discord as well.
You're sounding okay to me, so that's interesting.
Well, that's good, but there were points during that where I had no idea what you were saying.
Okay, well,
yes, the server is lagging a lot for me at the minute.
All right, well, I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a small adjustment this side to see if I'm pushing my connection a little too hard. So just going to drop something slightly to see if that makes a difference. I certainly hope so, because that lag has been pretty difficult to deal with as the quali session is now drawing to a close. Wow, down to Solski, our winner from last time out, currently in 8th. 137.788, 1,000s behind Gadamer. And he's in the pits, so he will not be starting any higher than 8th. Klima is back in. Nick Domino still on track? Nope. In the PCDC coloured Porsche. Matthias Sano Christensen, no, that's a slow-moving Ford, so he's not improving. And that is Stevie's favourite skin on Anthony Washington, the Privateer 36 of Ferrari of Anthony Washington. That's actually everybody done. So once the timer ticks down, we'll get the official grid pop up.
And just to clear up for anybody who's watching, the lag we're seeing is specific to spectators. The drivers won't have this.
Lovely.
It should be a lot more stable for the drivers.
So there's the grid then. Valtteri Landa is our top man. Irenom 2, Eno Marinsky 3, Claudia Klima 4, Fraser Williamson 5, Christoph Holstein in 6th. A little surprising. He's normally pretty hot in qualifying, but look at the gap so close between each car. Then it's Dominic Gadamer and Dan Saluski on row 4, Mike Scheppers and Michael Dressler row 5, Magnus Wallström and Joris Thielen row 6. And then Kanu Martinson, Ronnie Gibbons, row 7, Alexander Godefroy, Flavio Foku, row 8, Timu Toika and Sam Blackwood, row 9. Then Gordon Anderson and Andreas Dahlstrom round out our top 20. I think everyone's still gridding, so we'll carry on going for the moment. Then it's Joachim Lundgren in 21st, Evan Imre 22, Brad Westcast 23, Krista Brojek, wow, all the way down there in 24th. And that's only 1.5 seconds off the pole, bear in mind. Marvin Sluben in 25th, Richard Brenneman 26th, Sebastian Riethmann at 27, Jeremy Hoppe is listed as 28th.
He managed to get in.
I was going to say, I hadn't actually spotted him. So fair play to him. He's the reason why he's missing is because we weren't expecting him to race this evening. But he's managed to make it, which is good to see. Sarah Dove, 29. Jukka Suominen, 30. And Soren Krutz, 31. Stefan Kamke, 32. Nicholas Domino, 33. Phil Bedford, 34. Jake Towns, 35. Chris Bell, 36. And Matthias Salo Christensen, 37. Wow, that's a lot to squeeze in the box. Darren Potter, 38. Jamie Smith, 39. Anthony Washington, 40. And Phil Reed brings up the tail of the field without setting a representative lap time. Well.
Yeah, Phil Reed's got a lot to do. Just for someone asking in the chat, the track temp is currently 27 degrees. Air temp 24 degrees centigrade, both of those.
That should be fairly easy for our guys to manage, I'd have thought.
That is manageable temperatures.
So that we shouldn't be seeing any kind of major tyre drag or any some such?
Nothing more than they used to already.
Awesome stuff. I'm trying to find a lander. There he is. So the pace car has just led the field away. There's a Valtteri Landa on that front row. And there's a reminder, more to me as well, that there's Irunom, Marinsky, Klima, Williamson and Holstein are our top gunners this time. Where's Holstein? Let's follow him. There he is. CSR coloured Ferrari right next to his teammate in car 37. Now the grid will condense. That is very, very close. And here we go. We are racing here at Imola. A very good start, of course, by our frontman, who has got himself pretty decent. That's camera's a long way away. Looking at Holstein then, he's trying to put the pressure. Oh, wow, look at that. That's a lot of defending he's having to do as the numbers start sorting themselves out. Already those Comrade Gaming cars separated. Oh, nearly a tap in the back actually by Holstein. That's Fraser Williamson. There's behind me, you've got Klima, Norman Marinsky in that three-way battle coming into the second chicane. I beg your pardon, that's Villeneuve. I'm getting my corner names wrong already. That's never a good sign. And here they go. Oh, look at that! That is Williamson having a crack at Holstein coming into Tosa for the first time. There you see Orlando has already got himself 1.5 seconds up front. So that's a great start then by the front runners.
Yep, we've had a bit of a crash further back. It's just coming out of Tosa. There is Gordon Anderson's involved, Brad Westgarth involved. Looks like that's it for now. I think we had a similar incident at that exact corner last time we were here. It's the tough one. You can get very easy to get side by side. It's very easy to let the car get loose.
Thankfully, noticing less lag, so maybe I was pushing my rig a bit too hard. Holstein now in 7th. Look at the pressure he's under from Williamson. Klima is what? Oh, Gordon Anderson's in the pits. That's why the numbers have shuffled around. Along with that's Joachim Lundgren. That's a very unhappy looking car, number 99. But here come the leaders. Valtteri Alander leading fairly comfortably at the moment. Now 1.7 seconds separates himself and Irinam. And then Nom's got pretty much everybody else chasing after him. With Inar Marinsky in the Porsche. Say now come through the chicane. Tragado and Tabarello. There you've got Claudio Klima in aforementioned Ferrari. There is Christoph Holstein hanging on to 5th position. Whoa, that's a very wide. Is that Gatorman? No, that is Mike Sheppers that was a tad wide in the black and orange Ford car number 96. Forgive me for sounding a little hoarse, but it was an hour and 20 minutes. Sorry, the overlay was actually incorrect. I said it was 60 minutes. It's actually an 80-minute race. So same as we had last week, and even more racing. And if, like we said before, we had a exhibition race at Spa last week that was brilliant from lights to flag. So more of that. I'm always happy with that.
Absolutely. From the back of the grid, Phil Reed's already up to 25th place. He's slowly making his way through. He's just had with a little bit of a carnage at turn 1. Someone went a little bit wide, got very out of shape, and he had to take to the gravel to avoid them. But he is going a little bit better than he was at Spa after his first lap chaos from back there.
I wonder if Phil Reed, he's looking to kind of recreate his sprint win from the Formula Renault 3 race we had on Friday. That was also fabulous to watch.
If he manages to win from the back, I'll be very, very impressed.
What's happened to Ronnie Gibbons? He's lost a couple of positions. A long-time racer for AOR. He's actually one of the first people I ever contacted with regards to commentary. It was Mr. Gibbs. He actually got me into the commentary box for Project Cars, one of the first series I ever did.
He's on his own a little bit at the minute. He's got just under 3 seconds of the car ahead and just over 3 seconds of the car behind.
Oh, very much on his own.
The only person that's found some track to himself.
Oh, Klima's under pressure though. He didn't have a good run through Tamburello. Now under a lot of pressure from Holstein behind. Manages just about to keep them at bay. That's the gearbox view from Klima. Granted, the gearbox isn't strictly there. It isn't the single seat as we know, but that gets very close. And there you see Williamson, Gaydamer in very, very short succession, Sherpas as well. So a big chain of cars basically behind. That's Ino Marinsky in the Porsche. So I'm not entirely sure that Ino is slowing them down as such. It's just he happens to be the leader of that particular train. Look at that. That is second right the way down to somewhere around. So I think we just saw kind of down to 10th. But really, that train goes right the way down to Godefroy. If we took the chopper cam, or maybe what should we go with? Let's go with the that's the chopper cam. That doesn't really show what I was looking for. The chase cam. That's how close the field is. Look at that. That's pretty much 14th to the lead. You can see in that shot alone.
Less than 10 seconds.
That's actually, yeah, it is.
Less than 10 seconds.
Absolutely incredible. Claudio Klima, though, is looking to get that. Look at that. We go on the nose of the Geodesic Racing Ferrari as they come out of Rivazza over the start finish line. Then the Porsche going very defensive very early, actually nearly putting himself on the wall. That's a very big statement of intent there to defend that line. What's the slipstream effect like here, then, Mr. Stevie?
You get a big chunk of it. Go up the inside of there. Go Fraser Williamson on Chris Holstein. That's Holstein back down to 6th place. Oh, he won't be liking this. He's not used to this.
I was going to say, it's very unusual, this, isn't it?
He's had a couple of seasons of just walking it pretty much with occasional bit of pressure. He's nowhere near the podium at the minute.
Well, I'm sure he'll love being reminded of that as well. But on they go, as now it's his own teammate already behind. So we'll see if he's able to start to attack. Well, great, again, very clean move by Williamson. Nothing that Holstein can really complain at there. He went for the defensive line, but Williamson just went for the inside line, coming into Trigado, and that was really move done for car number 73. But Gaydame is in trouble. I think Sherpas may have the run on him. Oh no, I think Sherpas didn't get quite as good a run through Acro Minerali as he would have liked, but still staring at the back of that cyan blue Ferrari. They now head down towards Ravazza once again.
I'm amazed at the closeness by all of them. That you've got to go all the way down to 15th of Timu Toyka, who has got a gap bigger than a second to the car ahead, excluding the top.
And that's only 1.5 seconds, so it's not exactly huge. When we go on the nose of Toyka's car, that's the view from him. So that's... You
might want to go back to the Klima because he's very close to Enar coming down on turn 1 now. He's got Fraser Williamson just behind. He's got to watch the head on before. Oh, and Enar goes defensive. Oh, how close was that from Klima? But he's gone wide. It's going to give Fraser an opportunity, but he can't make it work at the minute.
Wow-wee. So... yeah, I wonder whether there was impact there, but look at the jostling around. Again, Williamson trying to go side by side with Klima. That was kind of put him in danger of being run off the road, but he managed to keep it outside. There's the two CSR cars. Gaydame having a look on the inside of his teammate. He's no team orders going on there, but in doing so, he actually probably held up Sherpas. There's Sasulski, now down to 9th. He's trying to kind of get up the field. We saw him, again, he was hounding Holstein last week. Maybe just this track doesn't suit Holstein and Sasulski, as well as we saw last week at Spa. Two very, very different circuits, of course. Again, Williamson nearly pushing Klima as they come through Acro Minerali once again. Now up to Variante Alta. Look at that. The Racing Pink Ferrari is number 73. You couldn't get any closer than that. Now, we talked a bit about track limits, and sometimes iRacing a little bit wavy. Where are they? What's the track limit like at Variante Alta? Because there's several different lines that can be taken. Some people go very wide, and some people try their best to stay into the black stuff. What is it like down at that point?
Are you saying Variante Alta is the final chicane?
I am saying it's the final chicane before the double left.
Okay, good to know. You can run wide there. You can run wide. If you run too wide, like beyond the AstroTurf, you will get a slowdown. You won't get an instant point, but you will get a slowdown. You can clear it relatively easy, though. This track is fairly lenient on off tracks, but there are a couple of corners where it will be very, very harsh. Minerale is one of them. On that right-hander, just as you come up over the crest, if they run marginally too wide there, they will get a fairly heavy slowdown.
I see. We've lost quite a few cars already. There's been a lot of carnage going on further down. I'm just trying to see. I think we've lost Blackwood, Anderson, Lundgren we saw in the pits, and Dahlstrom. Quite a few people have been in the pit for a long time and are several laps down. But, what's happened to Brenneman? Oh no, that's not good. The PCDC car number 6 faces the wall. As if I can get a replay of what happened to him. Let's have a look. So we are coming up to, that is Trigado and Tamburello. Oh, that was odd. He caught the apex and just hit the brakes.
It looks like the car tried to get out of him. These curbs can be very tricky. The Porsche does not ride well over those curbs at all. It was a big complaint from the Porsche drivers last season that the Ferrari has such an advantage here because it can ride the curbs so much better. So he's just been caught out by that. He's still going. He's down in 23rd place, so he's still in reasonable spot. He's not too far away from the points. Close call, but he survived.
It didn't look like he hit the wall. He just kind of ground to a stop. Oh, Williamson and Holstein close together. No, not quite. Let's have a now that the field has kind of settled down a bit. Although saying that three-way battle there, that is Marinsky, Klima, and Williamson, are very, very close. But they have been all race long, so that's not really a surprise. leading the way then is car 11, Valtteri Alander, leading from the pole spot. Leads by 2.2 seconds from Iridom in car 78. Then it is this battle we're seeing here, which is Marinsky, Klima, Williamson, Holstein and Gaydemeyer. That brings you down to 7th position. Then slightly off the back of that is Sheppers and Sasulski in the Ford and Porsche. Then a tiny gap there to Magnus Wallström with Dreschler in that. Is Gibbons in trouble? Oh, Gibbons is in trouble. That looks like Tozer.
Yeah, he's had a little bit of a moment. It's very easy to lose traction around there, and gaining traction out of that hairpin is quite difficult. I noticed as he went through, Evan Imre in 17th place now, car number 22, appears to have quite a bit of damage.
Evan Imre.
Yes, it looks like he's had a few wars somewhere. But he's still going.
We're only on lap 7. So he's already had 9.
He's also halfway there on the incident limit. He's already on 10.
Oh dear.
So I suspect he's had some bumps.
There's 17, is it, for this one?
20 for this, though.
Oh, 20, beg your pardon. So yeah, he's bang on halfway, and he's the leader of the incident limit by quite some margin as well, looking at the numbers. So
no, there is one more person who's on quite a few more. He's in the pits at the minute. He's a lap down. His name is Phil Reed. He's on 17.
Mr. Reed. Oh dear, indeed, he's on 17.
Mr. Reed, who it didn't go well for him last season. He got a slowdown, and then the game gave him a penalty, which then disqualified him.
Oh dear.
So he doesn't have the best of luck here. It's Biz.
Well, I mean, everybody kind of has their bogey tracks, don't they? And some people just don't get on with certain places. We're looking from the tail of Klima. Right, there goes Williamson. Oh, tiny bit of impact. That lost the momentum Williamson had, but that would have put him on the outside of Peratella, the double left-hander, and that would have been an absolute sail off the road if he tried to move there. So that was, again, quite smart from car 73 to not try that move. He's given himself a tiny gap between himself and Holstein. Gaydemeyer staying right behind his teammate, whether that is by design or by pace, we don't know at this stage. Long way to go yet. We are over an hour still to do. So come through Variantiata once again. Is this going to be an opportunity coming down to Revazza? The orange Ferrari staying in the slipstream. That is Eno Marinsky, and the Porsche's giving himself nearly a second between himself and car number 10. And no move then for Williamson. But you get the feeling that it's absolutely imminent that Williamson is going to claim Klima.
Absolutely, he showed his intention early by getting past Holstein, which is no mean feat. And like we said, you look at this grid and this line right now. There's 4 Ferraris in a row, which means you've got the exact same power, you've got the exact same capability to get out of the car. It's all on the driver. So Fraser is not hanging about. I think he wants past Klima as soon as possible.
Indeed. He's got a very difficult obstacle to pass there in the form of Claudio Klima. Marinsky is not actually breaking away too much from this, hanging around that second mark between himself and Klima, but Valtteri Alander is kind of staying steady out front. Still 2.1 seconds between himself and Nom. It's now 3.2 between Marinsky and Nom. So that battle that gap second to third is slowly increasing, but anything can happen. We've seen quite a few incidents already go on in this race, so it really is open to anybody at this stage. And also worth noting, Claudio Klima has no incidents at all, so it's kept it absolutely clean. Not many drivers have, to be fair, so that in itself is worth a mention. There's another one that hasn't, which is Sasulski. He's rather minding his own business, watching this train ahead of him continue to do battle. Sheppers right under the rear wing of Gaydemeyer, so that could well be a move from the Ford on the Ferrari ahead. That's how close it is on the nose of the Ford. And Gaydemeyer forcing the defensive move coming into Revazza, but the Ford can't get the traction we needed to try and move on the inside of the final turn. And again, it does look like this the slipstream not helping a great deal, it seems, along that start-finish straight. Again, that's the nose of the Ford. And the Ferrari just got a decent drive, a very good drive indeed, on the exit. Revazza, that's going to help keep him out of trouble. But again, you can just see at the top of that shot, then look at Williamson yet again on Klima, and they do look like they're beginning to reel in Eno Marinsky again. Here comes Williamson. Oh, he thought about an inside manoeuvre coming into Villeneuve, but it's not a very big braking zone there. It's very risky to try. It has been done, can be done. Oh, but Klima's wide. Is Williams going to try an inside Tozer? No, he opts not to do it. Oh, goodness me. There's a move imminent, but if Klima, for instance, had a problem, he'd have a lot of cars to potentially take with him.
Absolutely. It's this is the only risk with running this close to these many people, is if one of you has an issue, it could be game over for a lot of you. But these are good drivers. They're great drivers. They know how to deal. They know how to drive. They should be... Oh! Williamson's run wide! He'll definitely be getting a slowdown from that. He'll have to let quite a few cars go and lose a lot of bit of time.
There's Holstein and Gadamer has gone through. Can he fend off Shepard's? Just about. He manages to keep the Ford behind. And bearing in mind how close that Ford was to the back of Gadamer, that was not an easy gap for him to slot into. But yeah, in the blink of an eye, Williamson, just one mistake. He had the mistake on his own. He didn't take anybody with him. But yeah, just pushed it that little bit too hard and slid off the road. It's so easy to do as well. Ackerman Rally is a really awkward off-camber double right-hander. You're trying to turn and brake at the same time. So easy to make.
Corner.
It's not an easy corner to navigate, but that does free up Klima a bit. Holstein 1.1 behind Claudio Klima. Klima now set to attack Ina Marinsky. But this battle here, Williamson had cleared both the Comrade Gaming Ferraris. He's now going to do it all over again. Yeah,
he's got the pace to do it, but one mistake, it can cost you a lot. I was also having a look up and down the field for any other battles going on. There was quite the three-way fight going on between Darren Potts and Simon Cruz and Phil Bedford for 22nd. Phil Bedford previously ahead of all of them, and now the back of it. Cruz goes for a move on Darren Potter up into turn 1 and gets that position. But yeah, 20 minutes of racing almost done, and they're still super close.
Yep, and they look set to... Oh, he's done it again! Oh, Williamson, yet again, too hot into Acca Minerali. He's going to lose another one. Oh, let's see if he's able to. He's side by side with the Ford. That is Shepard. He's gotten ahead. It's really difficult to make a pass there. The Ford is forced wide. 96 manages to hang on to 7th. Almost to take that 7th. Then is Sasulski. He's got a great view of the battle ahead. Look at this. Still side by side between the Ferrari and the Ford. Now Williamson's going to have the inside line for the first part of Ravazza.
You can run wide there. You can run wide of those final corners. That final second to last corner. So Mike is okay. He's not going to get a slowdown from that, and he's got the run now.
He has 4 corners they were side by side for. Sasulski had a great ringside seat for that and has managed to get through into that position with the Ferrari. Now he's going to get the slipstream on the Ford. Look how defensive Shepard is going on the Ferrari and manages to hang on to that position, but of course that really compromised their line through Trigado and Tabarello. Here comes Sasulski then to try and put a move on him as well. Oh, wow, that is getting very close. There behind is Magnus Wallström. He could get involved in this particular battle as well. So it is all kicking off. Oh no! He's gone! Oh, no. What a shame for Fraser Williamson. I didn't quite catch how he managed that. Let's see if I can catch up with the replay on that. No, it's not letting me do it, unfortunately. Oh, what a shame for Fraser Williamson.
He got on the curb and he went off. It kicked him off. He was not happy with that curve. That is unfortunate, but that is... These curbs can be a little unforgiving.
Oh, what a shame. I mean, he jumped straight back to the pits with that one.
It's the shame that he has done that, because his car, he didn't hit the wall.
No, not at all. He was showing very good pace. He could have... okay, that would have dented his progress somewhat, but he could have made that gap back again, I feel.
Yeah, I think he'll regret that, hopefully, because there was definitely a better result on the cars than a DNF.
Indeed, indeed.
And just for reference, how much time that cost them, Sherpas is now 3.5 seconds off the back of Gadamer. They lost so much time in that fight, and it's now not over, because now Mike is at the lead of another fight with him, Dan, and Magnus Wallström.
Indeed, that train continues, and Sasulski is in there. That is the car we're looking at, the Porsche, and then Wallström on the back of it. And a couple of cars back, you've got Thielen and Dreschler in a battle. That's a battle for 10th position. further up the way, oh, had a lag moment there, is Klima. Oh, come on, lag, don't fail me now. You've been good for a while. Klima on the back of Einar Marinsky. That battle, still that battle for third is continuing. Now Klima doesn't have any direct pressure going on. Even though those two CSR cars are still there, Holstein and Gadamer, is 1.3 that separates Klima and Holstein. There's still battles to be found everywhere.
Absolutely, and we saw from the preseason race at Spa last week how hard Einar can defend a position and how well he can defend a position. And if you can defend at a circuit like Spa, it's actually relatively easy to overtake. Here, where there's really only one or two easy passing opportunities, he could be in for a really good position and a very frustrating evening for Klima, I think.
Could well be. It certainly seems, this is a track much more for the defender than the attacker, but as we've rather seen with, two cars being side by side for 4 corners, then, it's the attacks can be made, but you've got to. It really is in the hands of the brave for when the attacks happen, but that's the nature of the beast here at Imola. And checking in on Valtteri Alander, leads by 2.3 over Iru Norm. So those two we haven't looked at for a while, but Marinsky and Klima continue their battle for third.
Yep, we've also got Christian Wojciech, who has just pitted. I suspect. Oh, he has damage. His rear wing is it's like a rally gun.
Oh,
It actually looks like the silhouette of a shotgun if you look at it from the right angle. He's letting everybody through. It looks like he's had an incident. Right.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. He now finds himself a lap down, but that's all. That is.
Oh, Klima and Einar.
Yes. Absolutely. It just was like looking at them, and this brings in the 2 CSR cars, and also not Shepard's, beg your pardon. That brings in the now lap down car. I forgot who we were talking about. I lagged for a moment. Then it was De Bruyck. Yes. He'll be wanting to get royally out of the way, and that he does. But now these two battles are now bunched up to make a 4-car train. Gadamer at the tail of it. Oh, lag, don't do this to me now. There we go, back on board with Dominic Gadamer. He is 6th. He can see 3rd. Only a few yards up the road as they come through Variante Alta once again. Gadamer using every inch of the track he's allowed to do. Now on the way, but that's cost him a bit of momentum on the back of Holstein. Klima is getting very much under the rear wing of that Porsche of Einar Marinsky. Even though the Porsches seem to struggle with the curbs, that is still a very good potential result for Einar Marinsky if he can hang on. But he's still got another 56 minutes to go.
He has. He's got his work cut out, but he's, like I said, he proved he could do it at Spa, so it's not out of the woods, but he got a little unsighted last lap from the lapped car. It made him take a tighter line into turn 1 than he would have wanted, which then put him offline through 2, and then Klima managed to capitalise. No such luck to this time for Klima, but he's right there, unfortunately. So are the Comrade Gaming cars.
Yeah, they are ready and waiting to capitalise, and Holstein now getting ready for a move on Klima. That gap is getting very close, so Klima can't just concentrate on Marinsky. And Marinsky is, of course, wanting Holstein to get involved in this battle to help him try and get away from chasing Ferrari. He's been trying to get away from Claudio Klima pretty much all race long so far. There's now 7.3 seconds that separates himself and Iru, so the top 2 are just gone for all intents and purposes. It's
and the top 2 are still separated by just over 2 seconds. Iru is not letting Alander get away with this on his own. No, he's keeping the pressure very much on.
Absolutely. And there you can see, if we go to the blimp cam, there's all 4 cars involved in this battle as they come into Variante Alta once again. And there you just see the back of that particular shot. That is Shepard and Sasolski and Wallström. That's a battle for 7th going on. You can just see at the bottom of the shot there. Actually, not too far up the road. Actually, is well, again, you saw from that shot. We did see Iru, but that is still 7.5 seconds. It's just this particular camera's a long way off, so it makes it look a bit closer than it actually is. Here they come again. This pack of 4 streaming on down over the start finish straight, and Klima this time goes for the inside line. Is he going to make that's going to be a big dive into Tricato if he goes for it, which he does not. Oh, it's a little bit too far back.
We might have a move for 12th right now. Knut Martins and then Timo Toik with Godefroy. Timu's got to go to the outside. Knut's defending. He's going to make him work for it if he wants it. It's very close. Knut, oh, there's still side-by-side through 2. Oh, Tokyo gets on the curb. It's unsettled him. He's lost out a little bit, but Godefroy is right there with him.
Yeah, Godefroy, the Frenchman, looking to capitalise on that in car 57 for VC Sim Racing Rouge. As they come through Villeneuve again, as that's Toyka kicking a bit of dust on the exit of there, and they settle back into the 3 they've been. Keep it on the road and up towards Peratella. These guys come jumping back to the battle we were looking at before. There is a Gatormare at the back of the particular train, and again it does seem it's gonna take a mistake to shuffle this order up, but they are constantly there piling the pressure on, and thus making that mistake that little bit more possible. But that's not to say that the front guys, they may well be off into the distance, but that doesn't mean that they're invincible to a mistake. That's who's that they're catching up to? I can't tell from that shot. To see if we can tell who that is. Oh, that's your favourite livery. That's a very rearranged Ferrari as well.
Darren, Anthony Washington.
I was going to say, you forgot as well.
Well, I like the livery, do not doubt me. I like the livery, but obviously the favourite livery is for Scuderia AOR, which is Dan Potter.
Dare I even question it? Oh, what's happened to Dressler? Oh, nothing's happened to Dressler. It's Holstein. Holstein's down in 10th. What's happened to you?
Oh, let's have a look.
Oh, he spun. Oh, he's gone off at Ravazza. Oh no, that's it was right in that pack. The minute I look away is the minute when something happens. He's just gone off the road. There doesn't appear to be any damage on his car. But oh dear. And where's the other one gone? Where's Gatormare gone?
Dominic Gatormare is in the pits. Oh, they touched!
Oh no! Oh dear. Well, Gatormare was the training car. And we've lost Phil Reed.
Yeah, he's been in the pits for a while.
Oh dear.
So I don't think he will be coming back out. Oh, I need to go back. I'm just going to go back and re-watch what happened.
Yes, do. Oh, is Klima close to Marinsky? Oh, that's not a good line for Klima. Let's catch up with what happened to you. Oh dear, oh dear. What happened to Claudio Klima? Unfortunately, it happened in a lag moment, which is why I can't view it. So
for the incident between Comrade Gaming cars, it looked like Holstein was a little slower through the corner than Gatormare expected. He carried way more speed in and clumped into the back of Holstein and spun him around.
That'll be an interesting team debrief afterwards then.
Yes, their first race together and they've already crashed.
Oh dear. But with that mistake from Klima then coming through Acro Minerali, same as we saw Fraser doing earlier, that's put him now 2 seconds off the back of Marinsky. So further back then, the next battle down the road is Scheppers and Sasulski in the Ford and Porsche respectively. That's a battle for 5th position. There you just saw Magnus Wallström not too far behind them either. So still battling to be had. And now that's the gap between Norm and Olander has been pretty steady, and their lap times have been within the same 10th, but it's just crept under 2 seconds. And so might Norm start to reel Olander in? They've still got a long way to go though. There's just over 50 minutes to go. Absolutely.
They're also lapping a lot of traffic right now, so there's gains and losses to be made there. I'm amazed by Norm at the minute. Olander, a few races last season, he came in and he just destroyed them. Norm's had a bit of an issue there. Who's that? That is Matthias Salo Christensen.
Oh dear.
In the 47 car, 29. He massively. Well, they've got to get out of the way, but there's only so much they can do. They can't disappear off the track, but that certainly cost Norm a little bit of time.
Yeah, that was just unlucky timing. I switched back to the replay on that one. Yeah, that wasn't anybody's fault. That was just unlucky. It happens to the best of them, but yeah, that did cost Iru Norm some time. But Klima now clawing back that gap under 2 seconds now between himself and Marinsky, so he could well get back in that battle with the 84 Porsche. Just behind them is Sasulski and Scheppers. So again, surprising to see Sasulski there, considering how well he did at Spa. But as we said before, this track just may not suit him to, as well as Spa did.
This is also a tough track for the Porsche.
Because of the curbs.
because of the curves. Just watching Suzuki follow Shepherd through turn 1 there. Mike could use so much more of the curb that Suzuki can't. It's part of the risk and the choice you take with the car you pick. Go ahead.
I'll say Dressler. Just jump to Holstein and Dressler. That's a battle for 9th, and Dressler was wandering a bit too far off the road at Villeneuve, so that's putting him right in the clutches of the Comrade Gaming Ferrari. But yeah, that close battle between Shepherd and Suzuki has been going on a long time, so we'll see if they're able to overhaul that. But Holstein looking to try and regain some of the lost time that he's experienced. Would he have had much damage from the impact? You saw the replay. I caught the aftermath. I didn't see the impact itself. Would he have got much damage from that?
It looks at the minute like he's okay. He hasn't pitted, and his lap time is he's okay. His lap time, it's 2/10 off the race leader, so it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
He doesn't have any real wing damage or anything that I could see, and that would have taken a bump. His only risk, I think, would be probably floor damage, but I think that would be more obvious on the timing screen if he was struggling with it. And if he was, he'd have brought the car straight in. So he's obviously happy to keep going. We'll see how he fares. Gadamer did pit, though.
Gadamer did pit, he did, so he would have no doubt felt that nudge more than Holstein did.
Battle is making his move back on Dressler right now and takes that position into P9 into T1.
A pretty clean move. I think Dressler kind of let him go, and you realistically know who you're battling against, and you may feel that he wasn't able to keep Holstein behind, so rather than costing both of them time, he just let the car number 9 go. So, oh, hello, what's going on here with Suzuki? That's the back marker. We saw him before. That is Christensen.
Yes, he's just let the lapping cars through, which is good to see.
Oh no, that's Jamie Smith. Big pardon, it is Jamie Smith, car 45.
Even so, it's good to see him let him through. We have,
true.
For the record, for those iRacers in the chat, we run the iRacing sporting code. There are a few extra little rules though. One of which is that when you are within 1.5 seconds of being lapped, the lapping car within 1.5 seconds, you have to be getting out of the throttle and letting them through as safely as quickly as possible. Blue flags in iRacing basically means if you feel like it. But we won't do that.
No. A little bit. That sounds like the Project Cars 2 model as well. I was like, well, it's there. It's up to you but no, we don't like leaving that sort of thing to chance. Another battle for me. So we've got lots of pairs of battles going on. There's Klima and Marinsky are back within a second again. That battle for 3rd. Then it is Shepherd and Suzuki, as we've seen. Then Dressler and Holstein in their battle, though Holstein is actually on the back of Thielen, I think. Oh, there's the Porsche of Thielen, so he's not too far off the back of there. Then it's Godefroy and Martinson. So
yeah, they've been together all race long. Every time I've looked down the grid at them, they have been right next to each other.
Oh, here's a move as Toika on Suominen. The blue Ferrari has almost jumped out of the way. Toika going for an inside line coming into Dragato, and that is job done nice and clean. Again, it did look like Suominen wasn't able to, or chose not to put up too much of a fight for that one. And through goes car 46 up into 13th position. Yeah, Klima is... I'm sure Klima is as fed up with chasing Marinsky as Marinsky is being chased by Klima by now. And
yes.
Who is that they're catching up to? That's a Porsche getting out of the way. I can't...
It's one of the Team Bushfink cars.
It's a Bushfink Blue.
It is Phil Bedford.
Ah.
Just for reference, talking of Team Bushfink cars, someone in the chat, Mr. Ben Warren, who would be racing here tonight, unfortunately he's unwell, another Team Bushfink driver, said there are 10 Team Bushfink racing cars in this league run.
Wow. A big representation.
Nearly ran into the back of Anthony Washington there, but they just managed to scrape through there.
I think Washington's struggling somewhat with...
He's quite damaged.
Yes. There is Suzuki. There is Shepherd. And right in the midst of those two cars of Washington and Bedford. So Washington is quite a few laps down, unfortunately.
Yes.
It's two laps down.
Yep, but they both managed to get out of the way nicely.
Oops, Shepard's wandering a little bit too wide as he continues to... Actually, he's not too far. Klima's lost out in that trip through the back markers. Now 2 seconds nearly behind Marinsky, and that's put Shepard right under the rear wing of the Ferrari. So that's completely changed that battle going on. Dressler's hung on to the back of Holstein as best he can. That is, again, car 45. Jamie Smith getting out of the way in the Ford. There's several Fords around there. So Holstein, look, just lots and lots of traffic that our drivers have to deal with. So, and again, just one mistake in the traffic could send someone off. As we saw earlier from Williamson.
Absolutely. This track is already quite a hard and technical track on your own. Add competition that you're fighting with, that are on your level, it becomes even harder. And then add people that have had their own mistakes, just aren't on your pace, and you have to start lapping them. You've just made the track and the whole experience 3 times harder. They can't disappear. It's part of racing. You're going to lose time. They're going to lose time. You just got to work with it and accept it and deal with it the best you can. Sometimes it will favour you, and sometimes it won't. So now on that occasion, it didn't favour Clean.
Absolutely. Still looking at this battle, Knut Martinsen and Alexander Godefroy battle for 11th. These 2 Ferraris have been together all race long. Car 57 will probably draw the tail of Martinsen's car by memory by now. He's been stuck behind him. Oh, is Holstein in the pits? He is indeed. So now he's opted to bring car number 9 in. So
it'll be interesting to see where he comes out compared to his teammate.
Where is Mr. Gaidemeyer?
Gaidemeyer pitted immediately after that incident, whereas Holstein stayed out for a few.
Gaidemeyer is in 20th at the moment, with Darren Potter and Sebastian Riethmüller directly ahead. There is the Scuderia AOR colours that Stevie likes to have championed. Here's
Absolutely.
the team that Stevie drove for in the previous season. That's why Stevie's quite a fan of that. So I would imagine that Gaidemeyer is going to get a decent run on these 2. Where's Holstein going to reappear? And Holstein still stood still, so he's going to be way behind this battle.
He's just started moving now, so I suspect he did have some damage which he's had to take.
Oh, there goes Gaidemeyer now side by side into the first chicane. Oh, smacked that curve very hard. Killed his momentum and gets him back behind car 14, Darren Potter. Wow, Gaidemeyer just... that would have hurt. And there behind, you can see another 3-way battle. Jake Town, Sarah Dove, Nicholas Domino, battle for 20th between the Wolfpack Nando's Ferrari. Oh, and that is Nick Domino side by side with Sarah Dove, and the Ford actually backs out of that. Very interesting.
Yes, it's we've got some pretty close battles still.
There's a leader in there, that's why I think. Who's the one with the dented rear wing again in the Porsche?
I think it's probably Dvorak pitted early.
It was Dvorak, yeah.
And Foku's had issues, it looks like.
Oh dear.
He's got a slightly dented front end, but he's on the lead the same lap as Dove and Domino.
Yeah. Oh, lag kicking in again. Sheppers is close to Klima still. That gap between Klima and Marinsky has dropped a little bit. There is Marinsky just going out of the shot. But the Ford staying in contention with the Ferrari ahead. Oh, bit of a wiggle there from Sheppers on the exit of Toza. Have a look further down. There is Thielen. Dressler. Knut Martinsen still has, and that is the Ford of car 47. That is Matthias Sale Christensen, keeping him very much out of the way as best he can. Oh, Godefroy is staying right with Martinsen. I thought that gap 11th and 12th was a bit closer than it was, but my numbers are playing up a little bit. There is the rearranged Flavian Foku. What a shame. What a great shame. Because first iRacing race I commented on, Foku did very, very well. And unfortunately, I haven't seen him repeat it. So I'm hoping I'm not a bit of a curse for Foku. This 3-way battle has resumed. So Claudia Klima again has caught up to Marinsky, but this time brings Sherpas with him.
Yeah, that time he lost to traffic has come back to him either through raw pace or even more traffic.
Absolutely. The lag continue. Are you having lag problems as well?
Yeah, it was good for a while, but it's come back in a little bit now.
Is my comms to you okay? Because you were saying you couldn't hear me for a bit.
You're fine now. There's no problem.
Oh, Klima!
No! Mike gives him a tap and nudges him around. He can still keep going though. should be alright. I will just check how his damage is looking.
Oh, Claudio Klima is struggling to get back on track. Of course, he's got to be very careful, because if he tried to resume there, he really wouldn't be seen very well. His reverse, he's taken the much slower but much safer way of extending his entry back on the track. There he goes. Of course, if he just joined the track, no one would see him. So it's down to 11th though for Claudio Klima.
It's so easy to, in your frustration and in your the red mist, to just plant the throttle and just drive straight back on. But it's such a poor decision, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to cause another collision. He's much smarter. I'm very happy to see it. That he didn't get angry. He's not throwing it back on the road, but he definitely has damage. His rear end has taken quite a hit.
Oh dear. So there was definitely impact then between himself and Sherpas. There'll be words said about that one afterwards, I imagine. But yeah, that's the nature of close quarters racing. So it's Sherpas now that puts the pressure on Marinsky for that last podium spot. But under 40 minutes to go, still some way to press on before we see the checkered flag. So further back is Joris Thielen, 1.3 behind Magnus Wallström. Where is Martinsson? And oh, there they are, 9th and 10th now. Martinsson and Godefroy still in their battle, and slightly further back Klima has Jukka Suominen for company, I think. Not as close as I thought. I thought they were a bit closer than that. Suominen's actually 4.3 behind. But yeah, the closest battle we got time-wise is this one for 9th position, Martinsson and Godefroy. But closest position battle up front is this one, Sheppers to Marinsky. Excuse me. So let's see who else we can look at. Who else is in a decent battle? Rafe Muller and Darren Potter. There's a battle for 17th position. So they continue to press on. There's Jeremy Hoppe, who joined us very, very last minute. Started in 28th. It's half that now, and up in 14th position, having a pretty decent run. Sluman very much on his own there in the number 41 Ford. Gaidemeyer is down there in 16th following that issue. There is Darren Potter in the Scuderia AOR car number 14. Reith Muller is 1.3 behind Potter. We have Jake Towns in the Wolfpack Nando's Ferrari. And Nick Domino, we saw him in a battle earlier on, but finds himself a little bit of free space with Flavian Foku in that rearranged. Oh, that's Holstein already behind. So with Holstein's issues, he's now just diving on the inside of the Porsche to take that 21st. Oh, look at that. Is that Brenneman? No, that's Timu Toika. Sorry, there was capitalising on that slight hesitation by Foku. That was very well positioned there by car number 46. And has there been? No, shuffling around is due to the lag on my interface again. So still battling going on. Foku trying to hang on to the back of Toika. I think the rest of the field are fairly spread out, although Phil Bedford, I think, is still relatively close to... that is Sarah Dove, I believe, 3 seconds further down the road. And Jamie Smith, that's the two teammates, I think, Christensen and Smith, 47 and 45, in their Fords, kind of running their own race down there in a battle for 30th.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm curious, I'm surprised to see Klima stay out. They haven't brought the car into the pits after that incident, which I suspected they would, just because with that damage, it's definitely going to be costing them time. Although the last lap was only 3/10 off what Alanda did last lap, so maybe it's not affecting them too badly.
Well, probably more than he'd like, though.
Absolutely, and it's cost him a good 20 seconds or so from where he was on track.
Just saw Shepherd just smack the curbs. Very anti-alto, sent the Ford flying. We know the Porsche. Does the Ford struggle with the Porsche? Does the Ford struggle with the curbs as much as the Porsche does?
No, the Porsche is easily the weakest over the curbs. The Ford and Ferrari are pretty good over them. The Ferrari probably has the slight.
Wow.
But they can run a lot harder over the curbs without facing hardly any of the penalty that can come from it from floor damage, falling over. I know there was, I think from practice last season, Mr. Holstein took quite an aggressive line over one of those curbs and nearly fell over.
Oh dear. Not good, not good. So this is still the battle for third. Joris Thielen and Magnus Wallström. This is a couple of people we haven't really looked at all race long. They now battle due to the misfortunes of others. That's a battle for sixth. Oh, that's Evan Imre in the background. He's oh yes, he was sporting that damage quite early on. So because they can't really do anything about the body damage once they get it, can they? They can't fix it.
iRacing can do most fixes in the pit lane. It will take time, but they can get some stuff done, but there is a limit to how much will be done. You can sit there for 3.5 minutes, and what they will do is what they can do, and you can go back out and you'll see how you get on.
I mean, there comes a point where you just you lose more than you'll ever gain back.
Yes. Excuse me. But for the most part, you can get most things fixed. I was just curious as well that when we're looking at Joris and Magnus, we have Joris in Team Bushfink Racing Red and Magnus in Team Bushfink Racing Yellow. So this is two different cars, but in the same team, but not in the same team. There's a lot.
Representing the same organisation.
Absolutely. Oh, Sherpas is close now. He's very close to Marinsky coming down into turn one.
There he goes! Having a look on the inside. That's all, but couldn't get. He again hit the curb. We saw him do that a while ago with a very anti-alto. He hit the curb quite hard, just lost his momentum. He hangs on to fourth. Well defended then by Marinsky. Rather just forcing the line for the Ford to hit the curves. But again, Sherpas I thought was having quite a good line, but wanted a little bit wide on the exit of Villeneuve. Now coming through Toza, and actually 2.4 behind is Sasolski. So again, one mistake. There is Sasolski, and we've seen how quick he is. So again, these guys can't afford to make a mistake. We're reaching roughly 2/3 through the race now. There's under 33 minutes to go. So now is going to be the time where they can't just play the numbers game. When you've got these longer races, you think, I won't push too much too soon. But when the timer starts to kind of run down, you've got to push and get on with it.
Yeah, a lot of them will be capitalising right now with the lighter fuel loads in the car. Ideally, that's where you would run with the strategy of fill up to start with, run it as long as you can to get the fuel as low as you can, do some really quick in laps, and then fill just enough. Those that pitted early, like Gaidenmeyer and Holstein, have lost that time on the lower fuel. But they're quick and capable drivers, so I'm sure they will make up for it. So
there's no advantage then to pitting early in these cars?
There can be if you are being heavily slowed by the pack and you can't find a way through.
Oh, Shepherds again on Marinsky coming into, and that seems to be where he's strongest on that start-finish straight coming into Trigado. Sorry to cut you off, Stevie. But again, and both cars actually getting a bit squirrely on the exit of Tabarello. Down to Villeneuve. He's allowing Solski at least to stay in touch with them.
Yeah, the Porsche's is weak. The Porsche's weaknesses lie in the straight, on top end speed and cut. For cornering for cornering ability and braking and not braking because Holstein told us last week that the Ferrari was a lot more stable. But for cornering ability and much better in hotter temperatures as well. The Porsche is definitely the stronger contender.
But how much of that is down to setup, though?
That is more just inherent car ability.
Okay.
You can do most things with the car, but from my understanding of these, from what I've been told from far more capable drivers than I. Oh, Shepherds has missed the chicane. That will definitely be a slowdown. He just couldn't get it turned in. I don't know whether he was I'm not going to risk it over that map. And just cut to the grass, but that will definitely cost him. It won't cost him too much because you can lose it quite easily here, but that certainly put a dent in his rhythm.
That was odd because he got that turned in.
It must have just been a last minute, unless he was locked up. I didn't see if he was locked up. If he was still on the brakes and locking up.
Well, unless he just went in too hard, because I was looking from the external shot, just saw the replay. It didn't seem that he'd locked up. He just obviously gone in a bit too quick, realised he was never going to make the apex and just darted over it. But he's still only put him 7/10 down, and he's already closing that back in again.
Yeah, it won't have cost him too much to do that. it's a little pain he takes just because he's going to have grass all over his tyres now. It'll take a little bit for that to clear up. But for the most part, he'll be okay. It just unsettles you as a driver, as we saw with Fraser earlier, where he made the same mistake twice in a row. It can just put you off your rhythm a little bit.
Wallström and Thielen, battle for 6th, continues to rage on. Now less than 30 minutes left of this race. That's about, looking at the counter, that's about 19 laps, give or take. Godefroy still on the back of Martinsson. That is battle for 9th with Claudio Klima. With the early issues he's had, he's now got right on the back of that particular battle. Oh, go on.
We've got Holstein and Reifmuller through the second to last corner. Holstein's just got that position. He's had to work for that one. I think it's going to cost him down the straight. I wonder if Reifmuller's going to fight him back.
No, it doesn't look like it.
No, he knows who's ahead of him. Reifmuller raced last season. He knows who this guy is. Not worth fighting him at this point. And Holstein's already pitted, so he'll. Reifmuller's still yet to.
Indeed. So catching up then with our battlers further up front. What's happened to Thielen? No, nothing's happened to Thielen. He's still chasing off after Wallström.
Top guy in right now. We have Dan Suzuki in the pit lane, pitting from 5th place.
There he is. How long will he be in the pit lane for? He's jacked up, so it's either damage or tyres that he's dealing with there. Interesting.
I'm surprised to see them jacked up. I'll be honest. I was not prepared for that, but he's going pretty quickly. That could just be fuel. I know iRacing are planning to, or have recently changed the way the pit stops work, so you may have to now be jacked up to be fuel. I'm not sure. I will try and find out then.
Okay. Well, it's a bit odd. The fueling thing's not under the car, so...
No, I don't know why they're all getting lifted up, so... And who's that's just unlapped himself? Is it unlapped? Yeah, it's Jamie Smith, I think. He's just unlapped himself on Dan Suzuki.
Question in chat, how's Washington doing? Oh dear, he's pulled off the road. Oh, he's letting everybody go, that's why. Down in 33rd. 3 laps now down. Didn't start well. Picked up some damage and is trying to recover, essentially. So it's not been the best race for Anthony Washington. But still, Sheppers on the back of Marinsky. That battle for 3rd rages on. Marinsky has been fighting off someone all race long. Was Klima for a long time, and he's now Sheppers. He's had no let-up at all. Then slightly further back is Wallström and Thielen. But what's happened to Nom? Nom's in the pits. That's second position.
This is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Because Dan came out way down in 15th place. You pit, you've got a lot of traffic ahead of you. Obviously, there's quite a gap at the minute between...
Klima's in.
I'm surprised Klima's left it this long, but he's now decided to bring it... Oh, Godefroy and Canute is very close. As they came through that shot there, Canute still holds him off.
Yep, his heart must be in his mouth, because he has been there. Godefroy has been there a long time. So, I mean, now there is the other AOR yellow car of Evan Imre. It's his day's gotten no better, and there is Irunom at the behind. I think that's Sarah Dove's car. It is. It is car 25. Position 25, car 77 of AOR HEMA. With Nick Domino in short succession. Oops, that's the Ferrari wandering off the road. That's 9th position then for Iru Nom. Not bad at all. If you can clear the traffic pretty quickly, you will lose very little time indeed.
Yeah, for Nom, he needs to get past Domino as soon as possible. Oh, Domino, you could have let him go there. I see that we were talking about strategy. The one I'm surprised at is Godefroy. This would have been a perfect opportunity for him to try and get past Canute through strategy. He may still try that, but he's running out of time to do it.
Unless he's just looking to copy exactly what Canute's doing, but I would imagine surely he's been behind him so long, there's no point.
It would be it's a risk to do that, especially to pitch as close as they are, directly behind somebody.
Sheppers is in.
Interesting. This will also be interesting to see how Enar comes out. Evan giving a little bit of a slipstream to his teammate, although Evan's having a pretty torrid time. Currently down in... Well, he's in 19th. He's only one place off the points, even though he's a lap down. And just for reference, they all, after a few rounds, all these drivers will be split into 2 tiers. There will be a Pro class, a Pro-Am class, and an Am class. We use these first few rounds just to get an idea of where everybody is. So these will be retroactively added points to those respective championships. So Evan finishing now, okay, he may not be in the overall points, but he will definitely be in class points for whatever class he's in.
I see. Oh, big lag moment for me there. As Tiden continues to chase Magnus Wallström, that is now a battle for third because pit stops still have a part to play.
And the leader is in.
Well, Valtteri, along with the Nando's coloured Ferrari there I missed who that was.
Jake Towns.
Jake Towns.
The cheeky Nando's car.
Yes. It is indeed.
It's one of those drivers that has such a distinct livery you can't possibly forget who it is.
Which is exactly what I did. I'm new to the series, that's my excuse. That is, who was that? That was Wallström, in from third. So that battle there is now dispersed. Amanda's underway.
Nom is just coming out of the final corner now. He's run very wide, but he's going to get a bit of a tow from Darren Potter, who is a lap down. So
this might be... Is this going to be close? There is Evan Imre in the battered Ferrari. He opts to stay behind race leader, and not surprised that Valtteri Alander came out in 6th place after his stop.
Oh, Nom's got so much traffic. He's got Potter and now Towns in front of him.
Oh no!
This is hurting him big time.
There goes Towns, and Potter jumps out of the way as well. So that sorted that one out. That's now 4.6. That definitely cost him time. Alanda's already... Oh, sorry, Alanda didn't need to clear Evan Imre, as Evan opted not to jump in front of the leader, which is the safer thing to do. Now, this is going to be interesting to see what Knut Martinsson and Alexander Godefroy do, because they could opt to jump out of the way of the de facto race leader, but they don't have to. That is for position. They could choose to fight. So this is going to be interesting.
Yes, and I suspect they will be in before he gets there. If you're gone before, you don't want the leader trying to get past you and costing you time in your own battle. Godefroy knows he isn't battling Alander, he's battling Knut. And if Knut is going to get away by Alander coming through, he'll probably pit to try and cover it, just to get out of the leader's way.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also commonly done where if you are going to get lapped and you know the leader is coming to lap you, and you pit just as they're pitting, just as they're passing you, because you've done your bit, but you've also not lost any on-track time.
There are that 3 then, which is 4th, 5th and 6th. At the moment, Knut still fending off Godefroy and all of his advances. Lander isn't gaining on them too quickly, but may just be taking his time. He knows he had a gap before he came into the pits, may opt to not push too hard too soon. There behind you saw was Irunam. What's happened to Sasulski? Oh, no, I lost him for a minute. No, that's just the lag. He is still going in 9th position in car number 48. But yeah, I'm keeping a very firm eye on the battle of the Ferraris here between Knut Madsen and Alexander Godefroy. Because they haven't been in yet, have they?
They have not. The top 5 have not been in. Einar Marinsky, Joris Thielen, Michael Dressler, Knut Madsen and Alexander Godefroy. Top 5 have not been.
Now there's
they will be very close soon.
Now there's not a mandatory stop, but the fuel tanks aren't big enough. Is that right? Have I understood that correctly?
Pretty much, yes. There are tracks, and we've had it once before in Lagos, where Andrew Brown managed to do the entire race without stopping, but had to spend the entire race fuel saving. It is possible on some tracks, but for the most part, it's probably not worth it without really extreme lifting and coasting, at which point you're going to lose so much time it's not worth it. And still, Canute and Godefroy stay out. But Godefroy's quite close. He might have a run. As the top Enar is in.
Enar's in. He must have recovered to the pits. Enar's had a problem. He must have had a trouble. Oh no, he's in. He's coming out again.
Yeah,
he didn't come in, had he? I had in my head he'd already been in, but no, that's completely wrong.
We've also got Yorithins, and we've got Michael Zessler, Knut Martinson, and Alexander Godfrey still pits on the top speed. Marvin Sullivan running 11th now, still has a pit.
Hoppe still got a pit.
We've still got a few still going. Hoppe is in now.
Oh, must have triggered that one. He must be listening. I highly doubt it. Oh, what's on the Klima? Where's Klima?
Klima had his. I think Klima took some time in the pits to get some repairs done.
Oh, he's up to 12. So again, lag is upsetting the overlay a little bit. We're showing him in 31st, but here we go. Then now this is going to start to shake down because Alanda is within a second of the two ahead. So now it's going to be, let's see who is going to blink first.
I mean, at the minute, at this point, I'm amazed Godefroy and Canute are still going.
without having been to the pits.
Without little fuel. The pit window is pretty large for the most part, but with less than 20 minutes to go, they've got to be pretty close to that limit.
Yeah.
I would suspect.
Is it Marinsky?
And they're in. So that's how it works perfectly for Orlando. This will be interesting for the pit crews.
Yeah, somewhat. Let's keep an eye on them.
Oh, I'll tell you what is interesting. Einar Marinsky has come out 0.8 of a second behind Mike Shippers. He has lost de facto third place.
He has. The Ford now ahead of the Porsche. We've seen how difficult it is to pass here. So let's see how well these guys deal with it. What's the situation with Canute and Godefroy? Neither of them moving at the moment. Who's going to blink first? And they get away at perfectly the same time, so they're going to come out still with that half a second gap.
It certainly looks like it. It'll be very interesting now. Godefroy, it's the only risk with staying with them. And you can keep your eye on them, you can copy what they do, but you leave it entirely on track. Godefroy's actually lost a little bit. Canute's pit stop with half a second fast.
Yeah. So that brings Canute and Godefroy out in 11th and 12th respectively.
Which is pretty good considering where they were.
Is that Claudia Klima? No, it can't be. It is! That is Klima already ahead of them. So Canute Martinson's actually right on the back of Klima, bearing in mind that Klima was right towards the sharp end for a long time. Can Canute in the AOR yellow car number 20 hang on to the back of Klima? If he can, it's really going to help drag him forward because Klima's still got amazing pace even at this stage.
Mike, they're so close. They've got traffic as well.
Yep, indeed. That's Nick Domino that is on the PCDC Porsche. Here's Marinsky again. He had nowhere to go. He was a little bit boxed in. It's a good thing Dom saw them coming. That could have gotten rather nasty. But again, Marinsky just not able to capitalise on the traffic around and has to remain behind the Ford. But they do not have many laps. They have got 11 laps left to do something about their position. Here comes the Porsche again. Is he going to try something on the inside of Chagado? Nope, they remain in the position at the moment.
This is a lot. It's more in Enar's car as he thinks. He's got 4 cars at least upcoming very shortly. And if they cost Mike as much time as Domino managed to do that, not intentional, I'm sure. It's just the way it happens.
Yeah, sure.
You sound very suspicious. Oh, parts of spawn! Careful!
Oh,
that was contact with Marinsky. That was not great.
Let's see what happened with Potter then. Let's see what happened with the Scuderia AOR car 14. They're coming up to Toza with Jake Townsend and the Nando's car, and he just drops it completely on his own. And, oh no, you can't reverse out with people coming past you, and he's lost his rear wing as a result. Terrible, terrible move by Darren Potter, and he's really going to pay the price of that. That, I would imagine, is also going to be spoken about post-race. And, oh, that's another Porsche right in the midst of this battle. It's the VEC Pink Porsche. I can't remember who that is off the top of my head.
VEC Pink.
Trying to see the car number. So, nope, I can't see who that is off the offhand.
What I will say is it was unfortunate there for Darren because he could have gone forward. But what I will say is, and I'm not trying to forgive this, the Ferrari looked so much better without spoiler. Just like
instant redesigning.
Yes.
You said I sounded suspicious earlier. No, that's just how much voice I have left. No, I was not intending to cast doubt at all on what you were saying. But that incident there, Marinsky now nearly 2 seconds behind Sherpas. So in the avoidance going on, that has definitely cost him. Valtteri Alander leads Eru Nom, as has done all race long, by 3.3 seconds. 14 seconds separates Nom and Sherpas. Then 1.7 between Sherpas and Marinsky. Marinsky's beginning to get back into the rhythm a bit. Sosowski, haven't seen a lot of him today in the Bushwick Racing Pink Car 48. There he be 2.4 behind Marinsky. I think everybody, pretty much everybody except for Toyka has been in the pits. Oh, some of the people further down haven't, but I don't think a lot of them are running. So Joris Teden currently in 6th position has got Dominic Gaidemeyer for the Comrade Gaming Ferrari pairing, just 1.3 off his tail. Wallström not far behind in car 55 in the Bushwick Racing yellow Ferrari. Then it is Michael Dreschler in decent pursuit there. Then it is Claudio Klima slightly further down the road. Knut Martin is doing what he can to hang on to the back of Klima, but that gap now 1.5 seconds. But of course there is Alexander Godefroy once again. That battle now for 11th is resumed between Martinson and Godefroy.
Yeah, it's and the thing is now, it's a double-edged sword now for Godefroy, because Knut's had over an hour of defending it. Oh, he's run wide! He's just lost it! He's just lost it! Godefroy's just got past him. I should stop cursing.
It's horrible when it happens, isn't it? Well, I guess it depends on what your feeling is towards the person you just commented a curse. But that's. I'm not suggesting there's ill will between you and Knut. But, lag moment just at the wrong time. Here comes Martinson again on the inside, coming towards Trigado. Can he get the move done? Oh, it was given the racing room from car 57. Godefroy again, the racing room. Now jumps to the outside, coming towards Tabarello. Wants to get the run coming down towards Villeneuve. I'm surprised to see that Bedford hasn't brought that car in. That's a reshaping Ferrari. But on he goes nonetheless. And no, Knut Martinson is choosing to continue. That is that's one of the Porsches. Not sure who that is challenging the reshaping AOR. Potter, beg your pardon.
It's Fokker, and that is for position.
Oh, that's for position, yeah. That's for 26th place. I'm surprised that Potter's not brought that car in, but then I suppose with so few laps left, he may choose not to, lose too much time, etc.
He's just going to see if he can get to the end, I think, at this point. It'll be interesting now between Knut and Godefroy to see, because Godefroy has spent the entire race chasing, but now he's being chased by. It's interesting to see how his pace stacks up now he's ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Because of course Godefroy has stayed in the slipstream of Martinson all race long. Anyone near the incident count? Oh, Gaidemeyer is.
Yeah, he's right on the cusp. He's on 19 out of 20. If he gets one more, he's out.
Yeah, Marinsky's
on 18.
Yeah, so Marinsky's close. And so Sherpas and Nom on 17 apiece. Everyone else, right the way down to Evan Imre and Jack Towns. And Soren Kritz, I think? Nope. Riethmüller, I think, is the other one on. Oh, Riethmüller's on 17. So there are a few drivers that are sailing a bit close to the wind, but yeah, Gaydemeyer's really got to be careful. Especially so close to the end, as we've got, 8 laps to go now, and 10.5 minutes left of this race. It would be, again, we commented on this last time out. We've seen it before. We've seen it, last lap disqualification. These guys know the gig, and we lost a lot of cars last week as well due to the instant limit, I recall. So, yeah. I think, have we actually lost anybody today?
Yes, we have lost Rich Brenneman, Chris De Bruychek.
We have lost a few. De Bruychek, Brenneman, and
Christensen.
Yeah,
We've had a few.
Just those three.
just for a comment in chat from Bankai Bullet, iRacing will give you a black and orange flag, also commonly known as the meat. If your car is too damaged and you are technically a hazard on track. If you get that, you have a certain amount of time, I think it's only 3 laps, to bring your car in. If you do not, you will be disqualified. The iRacing system clearly thinks he's okay, or he's just going to keep going until he gets disqualified. But that's not something we can check from here.
No, we don't have that. We don't have that function, unfortunately. Checking further up top. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Valtteri Alander. Oh no, sorry. That gap was showing as 0.7 of a second between Alander and Nom. Here, once again, the lag was completely disrupting the. Oh, have we lost Gadamer?
Yep. No, he's still on 19 for me. He's there. He's good.
He's 19th.
He's got 19 incidents.
Oh, 19 incidents. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, he's still there. Chris Holstein. Oh no. It's confusing because we have a stint number and an incident number. Right,
yeah, we do.
and I looked over and saw 20 because it's Chris Holstein's 20th lap since he pitted. I was like, oh, he's not. He's fine.
Yeah, I just did exactly the same thing as you were actually explaining that. I was like, oh no, he hasn't.
I just want to point out the fact that with just over 8.5 minutes to go, the top 2 still separated by 2.5 seconds. With everything that's gone on, all the lapping, the pit stops, the traffic, 2.5 seconds. And Valtteri Alander is incredibly quick. So Aaron Om, who's new to the league, pushing him this hard is really great to see, considering Mike Sherpas, who nearly won last season, is nearly 20 seconds behind.
Ooh, battle for 4th. Einar Marinsky once again finds himself defending. This time it is Dan Sasulski, winner of the pre-season race at Spa, is now within a second of car number 84. Car number 48 is chasing 84. I'll find the irony in that one. That'll please the OCD maths boffins out there. Oh, and there's the favourite livery again, jumping out of the way. Washington. Yep, I forgot who it was again. I will remember by the end of the season probably, but I will remember who's in what car.
Oh, Knut Martin's close to Godefroy still, which is good to see. He's not lost off the drop straight off the back once Godefroy got back. Now they're in role reversal, it seems. It wonders whether Knut's got enough to get past Godefroy.
Yeah, that is the golden question, isn't it?
From my memory, I think this was the track last season. Godefroy got a qualifying ban for a misdemeanor at Brazil the previous round, and he started off at the back, which at the time was 34 cars, and he's finished in the top 10.
Wow.
This guy is quick. And considering he started 15th and is now only 11th, gives a real show for me of how competitive this field is this season.
Christoph Holstein's not far from that.
Suzuki is so close to Einar right now. He was almost pushing him through the second to last corner.
A little bit of sliding going on there from Marinsky. Is that going to help Sherpas gain on him? It's looking back then from car 84. Can you do anything about it? Over the start finish line. Here comes Sasolski. Is he going to try the inside line? No, defended then by Sherpas. And they're going to be side by side coming through Gigato. Then that's going to get the inside line to 48, and Sasolski's done it. Very nicely done.
Absolutely, that was fair racing by both of them, but he just did it. There was enough room left by Einar, who we have seen him defend brilliantly for a very long time. But he met his match there with Sasolski and was not going to fight too hard. He also couldn't risk a touch with him being on 18 instants, so I think he'll be quite pleased to come home with a 5th.
We have got 5 laps to go, as confirmed on the overlay. We have a 3-way battle going on for 11th. Godefroy, Martinson and Holstein. There they are, the 3 Ferraris in the shot. Still, Marinsky holds on to the back of Sasolski for 4th position. Then, a bit spread out is Gadamer, Wallström and Dreschler, 7, 8 and 9. But this battle is going to be fascinating. Of course, Holstein, we know how quick he is. He's, of course, the double champion, as we've mentioned. This track just has not gone his way for one reason or another, but he's right with car 20. Knut Martinson now. Let's see what the 09 Comrade Gaming Ferrari can do.
Yes, it's going to be interesting. This one should be, with no disrespect to Canute here, this should be a relatively easy pass. But there's 4 laps to go. If this was with an hour still to go, I'm sure Canute wouldn't put up too much of a fight. But I don't know if he's quite willing to surrender 12th place. If he fights though, he's going to lose the battle. He's going to lose Godefroy, but he may be able to come with Holstein and work with him to try and get back to him.
That's the thing, isn't it? Is that he may well choose to let the 09 go and sit in the slipstream and see what he can do with it. Keep an eye for
risk and reward here.
Yeah, absolutely. So just keeping an eye on where everybody is up front, as the lag is upsetting the numbers somewhat. We do apologise for that, but it's not anything in our control. Oh, and look at that on board with Holstein. That's how close he is to Martinson. Martinson's not giving him an easy time of it. He's not just getting off the gas and letting him go. In fairness, although exactly what you said, that is allowing Godefroy to get some breathing space as Canute is feeling the need to defend from Christoph Holstein at the moment. 4 laps remain here at Imola.
And then, just for reference now, there is no traffic between Aeronom and Valtteri Landa.
Oh, Holstein, he again thought about it coming on the inside of Toza towards Canute Martinson, but Canute kind of made a half defensive move into the middle, but Holstein still opted to go for the racing line, now coming over the crest towards Peratella. What can they do? The next real opportunity is going to be Variante Alta if Holstein can hang on to the back of the AOR yellow car. Now, here they come. Here's Acura Minerali. Oh, they get very close.
There's a lot of curve there that will slow him down a little.
Here he comes. This Holstein under the rear wing. He jumps out, but Canute then goes to the defensive line. He's not going to let Holstein go. He wants the fight, and he's perfectly entitled to. You know, the championship all reset, of course, in the beginning of the season, so it is game on between the 2 Ferraris.
Absolutely. It's Canute has picked his fight, it seems.
Yeah, he's made that statement of intent very, very clear. What's happening with Nom? Oh no, he's still there. This lag moment once again, making him fall through the field. But that's what it looks like for Canute. That's what he's got to deal with, and that is the last thing you want to have. 3 laps remain.
I don't think Canute can say he's had a boring race. He's had a fight with Godefroy the entire race. And now he's got Canute got out of shape through 1. This could be bad. This could set him up poorly through 2 and 3. Oh, Holstein's right there. He's going to have him. He's going to have him.
Canute knew that one was done. He didn't go for the inside line. He knew that one was done. The minute he made that mistake, he knew that he had to let Holstein go. If he wanted to defend, he still could have jumped onto the inside to prevent the pass from happening, but no. He's now going to go for he's going to try and hang on to the slipstream. Let's see how Holstein and Godefroy battle, and that could well benefit Canute if that one comes to blows. But no, after you.
We do have some more battles going on down the field for the lower end of the point. We've got Jake Townsend and Rice Muller separated by half a second. We've got Phil Bedford, the star of Dove, and Nicholas Domino in a 3-way scrap almost for 23rd.
Who's that's right with Domino? That is 55. Who's that that's just gone past?
55 is Magnus Wallström.
That was Magnus Wallström, so he's just putting a lap on the
coordinator knows the numbers.
Well done. But jumping back up to keeping an eye on Canute to see what they're about. Look at that. Holstein has left Canute for dust. And he's gone straight after Godefroy. Now, of course, as they battle, that's going to help Canute then try and get back into that particular battle. There's only 2 laps to go. It could be enough for Holstein to get the position, but I don't think it's going to be enough unless, of course, Godefroy makes a mistake, which, of course, is entirely possible. That's really what is going to be Canute's best option. Oh, as the Ferrari of Holstein bounces off the curbs in the middle of Trigado. Down towards Villeneuve once again. Is he going to try for a move on the inside of Toza? Let's see, both of them getting similar exits, and no, Holstein not going for that one. So the next opportunity is going to be the Variante Alta.
Just watching Alanda come through the final corner now. He's coming onto the back straight. Got 1 more lap to go. He is commanded this race.
Yeah, he has not been challenged really at all Started from pole. What's the fastest lap situation? I suspect it's going to be him as well. I think it is. 1:38.373. Yep, he's pretty much all his, so he's going to have the clean sweep. Which is what StevieSQ managed last time out. And StevieSQ, speaking of, he's up to 4th now. So he's doing pretty well in the opening round of the season. Wallström is pretty close to Gadamer, so there is a potential battle for 7th. There is the Comrade Gaming Ferrari. Look at the train behind. Not all of them are on the same lap, unfortunately. Holstein on the back of Godefroy. Lots of battling going on with just the final lap to go.
Absolutely. I think Holstein's going to get one more position before the day is done. He's got a good run on Godefroy now coming up the main straight. Godefroy is going to go defensive, I think. He's going to try and hold him. Oh, he's gone to the outside. Maybe he's just going to let this one go if he can. We'll not lose too much time.
And there goes Holstein. Yep, I think you called that one perfectly, Stevie. Again, you realistically know who you're battling, and Holstein just flew through to claim that 11th place. Not really sure there was anything more that, again, could have been defended, but wow, he's staying with him though. It's Godefroy staying right under the rear wing of Holstein. Where is our race leader? He's coming through Vatsa for the final time. Well, what a way to open the season. Season number 5 opens with the clean sweep for the Glacier Racing car number 11 of Valtteri Alander. Lead time Irunom by 1.9 seconds. The Bushmink car 78 comes home in second, but quite a way back, 17 seconds indeed. Here's Mike Shepard. He's going to take the last podium position for the V3 Racing car 96 Ford. There he is then. StevieSQ in the Porsche for Bushmink Racing Pink. It will take 4th position. There's Marinsky to take 5th for the Kaido Hazeyama Yala 84. Joris Thielen is 14 seconds further down the road, but he will take the 5th place. Nicely done. Gadamer just manages to fend off Wallström to hang on to 7th position. Then it is Dressler that will take excuse me, will take 9th. Claudio Klima, oh what maybe there's a big angle of cars coming across the line now. So Klima,
yeah, that was Jake Towns just beating Domino and Phil Bedford across the line.
And Holstein 11, Godefroy 12, Canute finishes in 13th place with it. Timu Toika will take that 14th position in a car for 15th. Beg your pardon. Oh, Ronnie Gibbons is classified as 14th. I think he just needs to cross the line because I think there's another lap involved there. That may correct itself. There we go. So he's now class of 16. Hoppe is going to cross the line. He will take 17th position. And Marvin Sleeman has already crossed the line a lap down in 18th. Kurtz 19. And Evan Imre rounds out the top 20. So we should look at...
Just like to point out as well, No, never mind.
So
I was about to make a point about 3 different cars being on the podium, but Aero and Valtteri are both in front.
So that's actually the qualifying results. So that's not the one I wanted.
No, I think we've had an issue with the
overlay
on that.
Yeah, unfortunately the overlay is not giving us the race results, unfortunately. Never mind, that's something we'll get fixed for next time around. But that list you see on the left is your confirmed finishing positions. Alander, Nom, Shepard, StevieSQ, I knew I'd get that wrong again. Marinsky, Thielen, Gadamer, Wallström, Dressler, and Klima are your top 10. Shall we see who wants to talk to us?
At the minute, we have
no one. I mean, I think these guys, do the iRacing guys use Discord a great deal?
Some do, some don't. Generally speaking, from last season, it was mostly the AM guys that would use the Discord, the AOR Discord. I know a lot of drivers and a lot of teams use their own. But certainly with a race like this, you don't want unnecessary chatter. And you just want to be focused, and you just want to be... Some people just want to concentrate, but also want to be around people if they want to talk. We do have Stefan Kamke in the chat, though, in the room, if you would like to.
Stefan Kamke finished down in 28th. Oh, drag him over, why not? We'll have a word with him. Hello, Mr. Kamke.
Good evening.
What are We didn't see a great deal of you, unfortunately, but how was that race for you, sir?
Didn't go to plan. Lap 6 into the second to last corner. Phil Reed collected me. He was taking the inside against Sarah Duff, and then I think he missed his braking marker a bit while I was braking a tad too early because of the traffic ahead. So that dropped me to last place.
Oh dear. So like you say, not according to plan.
No, but after that, actually only 2 off tracks and very consistent pace, other than when dealing with traffic 0.3 or 4 per second. So that part was good. I was also on par. The pace was good with my last season's competitors. So aside from the contact, I'm actually quite happy.
Excellent. So confident moving forward in the season?
Yes, but no way I would have a shot at the AM Championship. The field is way too strong. But building my pace and being clean.
You never know, Stefan. You never know.
Stefan, for the record, has an amazing ability at finishing races.
Consistency is not anything to be understated.
Exactly, and there are many drivers that will suffer and struggle through the season, and I guarantee by the end of it, Stefan will if he doesn't win it, he will certainly be in one of those higher ends of the champion.
We have also Irunom joins us in the commentary box. Hello to you.
Hey.
Well, you had a fair amount to do there. How are you feeling after that race?
Yeah, it's my first race in this car, so I've still a lot to learn, so yeah.
Wow. And
that was an encouraging result for your first race.
Absolutely. Excuse me. Absolutely. So, how much do you feel? You know, obviously, you had a pretty strong finish in a very strong field. How much more do you feel there is in the car for you to find?
Yeah, definitely a lot to learn in this car. So yeah, this race I think I had the wrong gear for the last turn, so I lost a little bit time. So the next race I have a lot of time to practice. So let's see.
Excellent. And moving forward in the season, how are you feeling for that?
After the day, it's looking pretty good, so it was important to finish good today. Maybe the win was there, but didn't get close enough at the end. I had a little bit trouble in the traffic, and especially after the pit stop.
Okie dokie. Awesome. I'm going to end it there because I've got absolutely no voice left. So, whilst more people have made themselves available for chat, unfortunately my throat is just dead. So I'm going to respectfully call it there. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. A great pleasure to have you with us. Thank you, Stevie, for joining me in the commentary box. A great pleasure, good sir.
It's always an honour, and we will be back, not next week, not the week after, because we have a Christmas and a New Year to deal with. So enjoy the holiday. Awkward real life, but we do have this 2-week break. We will be back in the new year with a change in the calendar. iRacing updated the ILMS calendar, so we have changed the calendar accordingly. So our next round will be at the Nordschleife.
Oh, lovely.
And you've got 3 weeks to practice, so there's no excuse.
That is going to be fantastic. So for the GTE League, that is it for 2018. And we will be back in the new year, but there's still plenty of racing action to come for AOR. So stay tuned, return to us, and we will see you then. Thank you very much, and good night.